So indicators we are going to start with. So Kritvik and Anubhav, do you have any idea what are the indicators?
Like the indicators which show if substance is acidic or not, or
Great.
basic.
Correct. So when we talk about the indicators, just a moment. So indicators, an indicator is a substance which changes color. So what do? They are the substance which changes the color when added to an acid or a base. So when we add the acid or when we add the base into it or into on them, so what happened? They change the color, and because of that color, we will be able to identify that whether it is an acidic, whether it is an basic, or whether it is the neutral. So the change in color indicates what? It indicates that what they will be.
Acidic or
They,
basic.
yes, whether the substance is acidic or basic, they will be telling us according to the change of color. But now, for example, if there is no change in color in that case,
It's neutral.
very good. So, no change in color of the indicator. So, if the color of the indicator does not change, it remains the same. It means that they are the neutral substances. So, either it will be changing the color to some other color, or if it does not change, then it means that the neutral kind of the indicators are there. Now, they can be these indicators, they can be natural or they can be synthetic also. So, natural are basically the from the nature we will be getting it, and with the help of we will be changing the color. And synthetic means artificially they will be made in the factories or in the industries. So either in the factories or in the industries it will be made, whereas natural will be getting from the plants naturally. So can you give me any example of the natural dye?
China rose indicator.
Very good. So we have the China rose which act as an indicator. That is also the natural. Then apart from that, turmeric also. Turmeric we use as a spices for making the vegetable curries and all. That is also the kind of the natural indicators. Then we have what? We have the red cabbage. So red cabbage you might have seen like in the market. Generally at home we don't use red cabbage much. So you might have seen the market. So red cabbage is also a kind of the natural indicators. Then litmus. Litmus is a kind of dye which is also like act as in the natural indicators. So these are the four different indicators we will be learning in the today's class. When we talk about the synthetic, the example of the synthetic, any one example, Anubhav, Varshit, Kritvik.
Litmus.
Litmus is example of the natural
No,
because
no.
we are get very good. Phenolphthalein. So phenolphthalein is what? It is the synthetic indicators, whereas the methyl orange is also the synthetic indicators. So these are like two indicators which we'll be learning in the today's class. Now starting from the first one, the first indicators, what we are going to study is the litmus. So litmus is what? It is a natural dye. It is a natural dye. From where we will be getting it? This litmus?
Lichens.
Very good. So they are the natural dye extracted from the lichens. So lichens, they are the organisms from whom they will be extracted. And once they are extracted, what happened? They will be preparing the litmus solution of it. How they can add, how they can make the litmus solution? How they will be making the litmus solution? So litmus solution, how we can make? By adding just water into it. Okay. So when lichens are added into the water, what do they create? They create the litmus solution. So solution will be created out of it. So what we need to do in the lichens, we need to, or in the litmus, we need to add the water. So we will be getting the litmus solution. So it is litmus. So litmus plus the water, it gives the litmus solution. Now, normally when we add litmus along with water, it will be purple in color. All right. So when we add the litmus in the water, it will be purple in color. But when we add any acidic solution, so if any acidic solution is being added to it, it changes its color to red. So the purple color of it will be changed into the red color. At the same time, when any basic solution is added to it, what happens? It changes its color to blue color. So that is how it reacts. So in the normal distilled water, it will be purple in color, but when acidic solution is being added, it will convert into red. And when basic solution is added, it will convert into blue solution. So that is how it is. It works. Fine.
Where are lichens found?
Lichens are basically you will be getting, near the water. Like you might have seen the mountains, in the mountains, near to the mountains and all, big lakes, rivers will be there. And stones will be there, big stones will be there, right? On those stones, you might have seen small, green color like substances. I'll show you the exact picture also. So there you will be able to find the lichens on the trees also, as well as on the rock also. So see lichens on, first of all, we'll see lichens on rock. And because of the presence of this lichen only, what happened? It becomes so slippery. See, this is an image of it. So these are what? On the rocks, the lichens are present. So what do? They will be taking the lichens from here and they will be extracting the litmus out of it and they'll be doing the test. And same thing you will be finding on the trees. These lichens are present on the trees as well. So lichen on trees. So like this, the lichens will be on the trees. So that is how to identify that. So when they are added to the acidic, they will become red. When they are added to basic, they will become blue. And normally in the water, they will be purple in color. So when they are neutral, they are purple. But when they are acidic, they are red. And when they are basic, they are the blue in color. And when they do not change any color, the color will remain same, which is the purple color. Now going to the next one, which is the China rose. So how we will be making the China rose, or how we'll be getting the China rose as an indicator?
Hibiscus.
Okay, fine, good. So hibiscus, basically, what happened? We need to, if we want to get them, what we need to do? We need to soak the petals of the flower, maybe the hibiscus flower. So by soaking the petals of the flower in water, so as soon as you soak them, the petals of the flowers in the water, what happens? The color of it will start changing. So that is how we identify it. Now, when the acidic, we talk about the acidic solution, they will change into dark pink or magenta color. While in basic solution, they will turn into green color. So, and if any kind of no change are there, that will be the neutral indicator. So they do not change any color. So generally, when we talk about China rose, they will be kind of red color. But when we add the acidic color, they will change into the dark pink or the magenta color. And when we add the basic solution, they will convert into the green color. So that is how the China rose, they act as an indicators. Then third one is the turmeric, which we also called as the haldi powder. So generally at home we use it. So it will be yellow in color, we know very well. So what we need to do, how we will be getting it? So we will be getting it by depositing turmeric paste. So what we need to do, we need to make the paste of a turmeric on blotting paper. Blotting paper is a kind of filter paper. I'll show you the picture also. So turmeric paste we need to take and we need to put it on the blotting paper. I'll show you how the blotting paper will look. So it will be like this blotting paper. So these are the blotting papers. You can see here, these are the blotting paper. What do they do? Extra things, extra water content they will be absorbing from it. So different types are there, different sizes are there, depending on the requirement. These blotting papers can be used. So on this blotting paper, what we need to do, we need to keep the paste of the turmeric. And then we need to dry it. Now, why we have to dry it? If we do not dry, the water content will be there in high amount, right? We will not be able to find the exact color of acidic solution with the basic solution. That's the reason what we need to do. We need to take the paste and we need to keep it on the filter paper for some time and we need to dry it. So once it got dry, then easily we can able to make the reaction or do the reaction with the acidic solution as well as the basic solution. Now, when we do the experiment with the acidic solution, it remains yellow only. So in neutral condition as well as in the acidic condition, there will be no change and hence it remains the same yellow in color. So in neutral solution, no change will be there. In acidic solution, no change and it will be yellow in color. Whereas in the basic solution condition, if we take any basic, then what happened? This yellow color of the turmeric will change into the red color. So turmeric we need to take in the paste form on the blotting paper or the filter paper, and after that we need to dry it. And once it got dry, then we need to conduct the experiment. We have to take the acidic solution. We have to pour a few drops of acidic solution on it, and what we find? We find that the yellow will be yellow in color only. Then when we take the when we take the basic solution and when we put the drop of those basic into the turmeric, then the color will start changing into the red color. And this red color indicates that this is the basic substance or the basic indicator into it. Fine. Yeah. Now the last one we have is, as the natural indicator is the red cabbage. So red cabbage is also used as an indicator to test the acid and base. So to test the acid and base, we will be using the red cabbage. Now, how we can prepare the red cabbage solution? By boiling chopped red cabbage. So we have to take the red cabbage and we have to chop it and then we have to boil it in the water. So in water we need to boil. So as soon as this red cabbage get boiled with the water, it starts working as an indicator. Now you can use it as an indicator. Now in the neutral condition, we know the color of the red cabbage will be red only. So no change in the color in the nutrition, it will be red. Neutral condition, it will be red only. Whereas in the acidic solution, it starts changing into the red. So here actually it should be purple. Just a minute. So in the neutral condition, what happened? The color of the red, the color will be purple in the neutral condition. Acidic, what happened? The purple will be converted into the red color. And whereas in the basic condition, it will start converting into the green color. So neutral, it will be purple in color, in acidic red color, and the basic green color. So that is how all these work together. Talking about with the first one as an indicator, natural, synthetic, natural, China rose, turmeric, red cabbage, litmus. Litmus we can get it from the lichens. Lichens we need to add them into the water. The litmus along with the water. Then it will be purple in color in the neutral condition, whereas in the acidic it become red in color. In the case of the basic, it converts into the blue color. Then China rose, what we need to do, we have to soak the petals of the flower into the water. In acidic solution, it will be dark pink or magenta in color, and in basic, it will be green in color. Turmeric, yellow in color in the neutral condition, as well as in the acidic condition, also it will be neutral in color, and in basic, red in color. Red cabbage, neutral condition, purple in color, whereas acidic, red in color, and basic, green in color. So you should know definitely that in acidic, what is the color, and in basic, what will be the color. So both acidic, basic, and neutral, all the three colors you should know. Now, if I have asked you what will be the color of red cabbage in the neutral, your answer should be purple. Then what will be the color of the red cabbage in the acidic solution? It will be red. So anyways, it can be asked in the exam. And I hope you know that this week you have subjective exam of chapter acidic, acid, base, and salt. Fine. Now, the synthetic indicators. Synthetic indicators, basically, they will be prepared in the laboratories. So, in the laboratories, they will be preparing and they are also used to identify the acid and base. So, to identify acids and base, they will be used. Now, as we have discussed already, two types will be there here. The first one is methyl orange and the second one is phenolphthalein. So this methyl orange, the color of the methyl orange is somewhere the orange only. So you can see in the image the color. This is the proper methyl orange bottle. You can see in your lab also. So it is orange in color only. So in the neutral condition, they will be orange in color. Whereas, so neutral, they will be orange in color. Whereas in the acidic, they will turn yellow in color, and the basic, they will turn, in the acidic, they will turn red in color, and in the basic, they will turn yellow in color. So neutral orange, acidic red, and the basic, they will be yellow in color. Now I'll show you the phenolphthalein. So this phenolphthalein is colorless. You can see the bottle also. This is the bottle of the phenolphthalein. It does not have any color. So in the neutral condition, what will be the color of the phenolphthalein? Colorless. Colorless. And in the acidic condition also, they are colorless. Whereas in basic, they will be converting into pink color. Very good. So these are the two indicators which are synthetic in nature. Methyl orange, neutral in neutral, while neutral, they are orange in color. In acidic, they are red. In basic, they are yellow. Whereas phenolphthalein, they are colorless in neutral condition, colorless in acidic condition, and in basic condition, they turn pink in color. So that is how it works. Fine?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll go to the next topic, which is neutralization. I think during the class time, so many times we have discussed about it. Now, could you tell me, like, what do you understand by neutralization? What it is? How they react together? Varshit and Yashwant, turn on your video. What do you understand by neutralization reaction? How you can make anything neutral in, in nature?
Normal mixed with normal acid and base are mixed.
Yes. Then what happened? They will become
Salts and water.
correct. So basically, when acid reacts with the bases, we know very well they will be forming the salt as well as they produce the water. And this kind of reaction is called as the 1 minute. And these kind of reaction is called as the neutralization reaction. Now, I think we have discussed about it, like acidity is there in the stomach, right? So in the case of acidity, what component is high in the stomach, acid or base?
Acid.
Acid. Now, what we need to do to neutralize the effect of the acidity, what we should add?
A base.
A base we should add. What is the name of base? What we will be adding into it? Antacid, right? So antacid will be adding. So antacid is what, as a kind of base where we are adding into our stomach to remove the acidity. So that acidity in the stomach is because of the HCl, which is there already in our body. And then the effect of acid is so much. What we need to do, we have to calm down the effect of that acid, or we have to neutralize the effect of it. And that is the reason we are taking the base from outside. As soon as this base or this antacid goes into the body, they both will join together. The acid, which is hydrochloric acid, and the antacid will join together, and then they neutralize the reaction and they form the salt. So that is how the acidity can be reduced in our body. So these reactions where what happens, the acidity, the amount of the acid or the amount of the base is high, how we can neutral it? We can neutral it by using the other component. If acidity is high, then basic substance we should use. If basicity is high, then acidic substance we have to use. So neutralization reaction is when acids and bases are mixed, then they react and neutralize each other, producing a salt. So what will be produced? A salt will be produced which may be neutral. So the salt which is produced, what it will be? It will be neutral, or it can be a little acidic, or it can be basic. But most of the time, the neutral salt will be formed. And what else is formed? The water is also formed during the reaction. So during the reaction, the water will also be formed. And what else will be released apart from the water? Something else will be very good, very good. So heat is also evolved. So during this reaction, the heat will also evolve. So the reaction between the acid and the base is called as the neutralization reaction. So acid plus base, it gives salt and water and also release heat. So this total altogether is called as the neutralization reaction. So this all together is called as neutralization reaction. So when an acid reacts with the base, it forms the salt and also forms the water and releases the heat. So this reaction is called as neutralization reaction. Now what happens is, like in our day-to-day life, we are basically working on it. We are aware like how to use it. For example, now we have discussed about this antacid. Now we'll go to the other example. Like for example, in any factory, the waste which is generated by them is more of acid than what we should add into it.
Then we should add base.
Right. So if more of acidic substances they are releasing in the water, so in the water, what they are? The fishes will be there, they will die. That's the reason. What should they do after releasing the acidic solution into the water? They should also release something which is like basic, so as to neutralize both the effects. So no acidic will be there in that case, no basic will be there, only the neutralization will be there. So that is what we should do. Then you might have seen when any ant, or we can say talk about the bee, honey bee. Those bee, when they sting, what happened? What kind of acid do the sting contain?
Acid.
Which
Oh,
acid?
sorry. Uh,
Which acid do the sting contain?
Formic acid.
Very good. So formic acid is present in the sting of those bees or the ants. Now what happened? We know formic is an acid. Formic acid, that is why we are saying. Now that acid is already now in our body in the form of the sting. Now what we should do? We should add some base to it. That is the reason if any honeybee bites us, what we do immediately, we will be putting baking soda or calamine solution. Fine, baking soda or the calamine solution will be added on it. So now why it is added? Because it is a basic substance, or it is base. Acid we already got from that ant or the bee. Now what we are doing, we are adding the base, which is calamine solution or which is baking soda, so as to neutralize the reaction between the both. So this is how we just maintain the neutralization reaction in our day-to-day life. So one by one we'll be discussing all these examples. So the heading is importance of neutralization reaction in everyday life. So now for our daily life, these reactions are very effectful. That's the reason they are important. Now, first thing is treatment of acidity, or we can say indigestion. So treatment of acidity and indigestion. So just now we have discussed if the acidity is increased in our stomach, then hydrochloric acid will be present in high amount, right? Hydrochloric present in excess amount. So this hydrochloric is what? Acid or base?
Acid.
Acid, right? So hydrochloric acid is present in excess amount. This causes the acidity and indigestions. So due to high amount of this hydrochloric acid, the acidity will be there and the indigestion will be there. Now how we can treat it? For the treatment, what we will be doing, the treatment will be with the help of neutralization reaction. So for this, with the hydrochloric acid, we need to add a base to it. And this base here is called as antacid. So for the treatment, what we should do? We should do the neutralization reaction where the hydrochloric acid will be reacting up with a base, and the base are generally the antacid in this form. Now, example of the antacid is milk of magnesia. So milk of magnesia is what? It is the base here. So milk of magnesia is a kind of antacid which has the base in it. And this milk of magnesia is also called as, we have discussed in previous classes, milk of magnesia, the other name of milk of magnesia. Magnesium hydroxide. Very good, Anubhav. Magnesium hydroxide is the other name of the milk of magnesia. So this is also called as the magnesium hydroxide. Right? So that is how we treat it. Now, second one we have is the treatment of factory waste. So whatever the waste are generated by the factory, how we can treat them. Now what happened? The acidic base will be generated by them. So acidic waste, they will be generated and they will be disposed of in rivers. These acidic base, they will be disposing of where? In the rivers. And because of which the river water will become acidic. And if river water becomes acidic, the aquatic life will get into the danger. So aquatic life in danger. So factories, they will be producing the acidic waste where they will be disposing of in the river, because of which the river water will become acidic, and because of this the aquatic life will be in danger. So to avoid this, now what they should do, the factory waste should be neutralized. They should be neutralized by adding basic substance to it. And this reaction is also called as the neutralization reaction. So since high amount of acidic was there, we need to add the base to it so as to maintain the neutral reaction of it. Now third one is treatment of insect bite. So whenever the insect bite, what we can do, or what the sting has. So the sting of an ant contain what? What kind of an acid? It is the formic acid, and this sting causes pain and inflammation also. Now for getting the relief, what we should do, we have to neutralize it. We have to neutralize it by adding base. Now what kind of base we can add here? We can add here, yes, baking soda, or we call them as the sodium bicarbonate. So sodium bicarbonate is also called as the baking soda. So either we can go for the sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, or we can also go for the next one, which is the zinc carbonate. And the other name of zinc carbonate is, what is the other name of zinc carbonate?
Calamine solution.
Calamine solution. So if we want to neutralize the reaction, these two substances, out of these two, any one can be added. Either the baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate, we can add, or we can add the zinc carbonate, which is the calamine solution. So we will be getting the relief from the pain. Fine. Now, what is, this was about the bees, okay? Now, this was about the ants. Now, what about the wasp? Who are the wasp? So these are basically the wasp. The ants will be like small in size. They will be, moving on the floors and all. But these wasps will be flying high, like the bees and all. So you can see this is the honey bee kind of thing. So these contain what? They contain the basic in the sting. So wasp, like the honey bee, their sting is what? Basic. Now what we need to do, if we want to neutralize the reaction of it, we need to add the acid. So what we'll be doing, we'll be adding the acid to it, which is the acetic acid, and by this we'll be getting the relief. So the sting of the wasp is basically basic in nature. Now if we want to neutralize it, we have to add the acid, which is called as the acetic acid. Whereas the ant, they contain the formic acid in their sting, and for that basic we need to add, that is the sodium bicarbonate or the zinc carbonate, which is calamine solution. Whereas for the wasp, we need to add the acid to it, which is the basic in solution. So vinegar, the other name of the acetic acid is what? The vinegar. So vinegar can be added to it. So that is how it works. And the last reaction, the last neutralization reaction will be on the prevention of tooth decay. Now, what will be present in our mouth? The acid or the base?
Acids.
Right. So, acid we have on the mouth. We have like on the teeth. What do we have? We have the acid. And this acid is always released by whom? The bacteria. The bacteria, they keep on releasing this acid. So that is why the amount will keep on increasing every time if we do not brush. Now what happened? The amount of acid becomes so high in our on our teeth that we have to neutralize it. And how we will be neutralizing it? We will be neutralizing it by adding the base. And here, what will be the base? The base will be the toothpaste. Fine, the base is what? Here the toothpaste. Now, as soon as we do the toothpaste, what happened? Whatever the acid is present on our mouth, on our teeth, it will just wash away with the help of the toothpaste. And we'll be getting the neutralization reaction. So, brushing the teeth with the toothpaste is what their neutralization reaction. And it is used for preventing the cavities. Fine, children?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's about the indicators and the neutralization reaction for our daily life. So indicators are the substance which changes the color when added to the acid or base. If no change in color, then it means it is neutral in nature. Two types, natural and the synthetic. Natural, China rose, turmeric, red cabbage, litmus. Synthetic, phenolphthalein, methyl orange. Litmus will be getting it from the lichens. We'll be extracting from them. Naturally, neutral, in the neutral case, they will be purple in color, but acidic, they will be red, and in basic, they will be blue in color. China rose will be getting by soaking them into the water. Acidic case, it will be pink or magenta in color, and basic case will be green in color. Turmeric will be getting it by drying it with the help of the blotting paper. Acidic solution and the neutral, they will be same yellow in color, and in the basic condition, they will be red in color. Then red cabbage, generally they will be purple in the water, but in acidic they will change the red in color, and basic they will be green in color. Then synthetic will be made in the laboratories to identify the base and the acid. Two types, methyl orange, phenolphthalein. Methyl orange in the neutral condition, orange in color. Acidic condition, red in color, and the basic condition, yellow in color. Phenolphthalein, neutral condition, colorless. Acidic condition, colorless, and the basic condition, they will convert into pink color. Neutralization reaction is a reaction when acid and bases will be mixed together and they produce the salt, which may be neutral in nature. Water is also formed, the heat will also be released in this neutralization reaction case. Then treatment of acidity, high amount of hydrochloric acid will be there, which causes the acidity. It has to be treated with the help of a base called as the milk of magnesia, which is magnesium hydroxide. Then treatment of factory should also be treated with the base so as to neutralize it. Then treatment of insect bite, because sting of the insect contain the formic acid, it has to be treated with the base called as the sodium bicarbonate or the zinc carbonate calamine solution. And the sting of the wasp contain the base into it, which has to be neutralized by the acid. We will be adding the acetic acid to it. Then to prevent the tooth decay, acid is already present. We have to treat with the base, which is the toothpaste. And that is how the prevention will be there.